5 years ago, we created World Golf Tour with three main goals. One was to produce an exceptional quality golf experience, which meant photorealism that no golf game had yet achieved. The world of golf has seen 3D reproductions of courses and so forth, but we felt if photorealism was what everyone is after, let's just go for it and let's deliver it. And we felt we knew how to do that, and I believe we proved that. So that was goal number one. Number two was to make it completely accessible immediately. So any player online with the internet connection, all they have to do is type the URL, there's no download, they can immediately start playing, teeing off on one of the famous courses and go. And so we've delivered on that. And then three is the social component. Being able to invite your friends, play foursomes, meet new people from literally around the world, and which was one of the backbones of why we chose our company name. But the idea that you can go out and socialize and play friendly competitions, play real competitions, or just go out and have fun on the course and chat while doing so. And so we delivered on that as well. And so I think between those three kind of main goals, it's been an incredible opportunity for us as a company. How we came about building World Golf Tour was looking at a few different technologies. One, I've been a digital photography kind of nut, if you will, for a number of years, and so I knew the quality that we could achieve there. The next thing was to figure out how we could tie that with the terrain technology out there, the surveying, be it photogrammetry from the air, or LiDAR, or laser ground surveys. And build us a very accurate map of the terrain surface, because with a putting surface, i.e. the green, it's fundamental that you have that be very accurate and not just a reproduction that an artist in a studio built, but to have it actually play the way it would exist in real life. And so studying that and realizing, wow, the market between laser scanning and photogrammetry and LiDAR, you can get some now amazing quality terrain meshes. And so then the next challenge was then to combine the photo that we take with that terrain mesh in a way that's very cost effective. And so we developed a series of tools and actually physical hardware that we attach to our cameras that now allow us to know exactly where that camera was not only pointed, but where it was physically located on the earth within a very small radius. And so that allows us to align the photo to the terrain very cost effectively, and that allows us to then produce thousands upon thousands of photos across these courses to allow you to play from almost anywhere. To produce a full course, it takes about 6 months in terms of pre-production planning, meeting the course, scouting, doing time of day studies. Because for us, we have to, we're out in the real world, so we are encountering elements, we're dealing with weather, we're dealing with, the shadows, where the sun is located. And so that pre-production planning is important because we want to make sure each hole is photographed at its, I'd say, almost ideal conditions. Once it's shot, the photography takes about 2 weeks, weather depending. And then we will go through post-production where we'll do some digital cleanup, removing a lot of our we put these markers out in the course, so we'll remove those and then make sure the colors are all in sync, just like a film would, go through color processing. And so the whole process is about 6 months. So we're out here today at Royal St. George's in the southern coast of England, photographing a green. What we do is have a photographer that actually photographs at a fairly high density grid, points aiming at virtual hole locations. And if we can show and replicate shots that the player is used to seeing on a broadcast, then the fact that it's photographs, it's almost like this is really more so, this is how golf is presented. This is what they're used to, as opposed to flying with the ball and following it and watching it bounce and all of that. So we found that, yeah, it might be a limitation, but actually it's in a way more of a broadcast style of presentation, and that actually has been a real benefit. Today we're going up in the helicopter to photograph a lot of the back 9 holes, focusing on holes 11 through 14. Basically what we're going to be doing is doing a buzz of the fairway, 360s around the greens, and then in several cases key bunkers and perpendicular passes across to get kind of key rough areas or hazards. So when we're in the air, the actual cameras are still connected to our GPS technology, so we still know where they are on the planet Earth when those photos are taken, and they're all hooked up and geosynced with the actual terrain map. So it's basically just like we do on the ground, but we're doing it from a bird in the sky. We basically shoot our aerials over a morning shoot and an afternoon shoot. Weather depending, it could be 2 days, but generally no more than that. When shooting from the air, we actually have cameras facing both sides out of the helicopter. So it's almost like when we travel down the helicopter, we're actually not going forward, we're going sideways. So there's a cameraman looking at the green and then a cameraman looking at the tee boxes. One of the things that's most exciting about the aerials is it gives golfers a perspective of the course that they're not used to when looking from the ground. I mean, some of these courses, especially a links course, when all of a sudden you raise up, you see paths and terrain undulations and things that you just cannot see on the ground. So in the game, when they actually hit the space bar, which cuts always to an aerial view, it all of a sudden opens up this course in a new way of looking at it. And I think that's one of the kind of elements of discovery that's really exciting about the game. All right, so we just finished our 2-week shoot out here in Royal St. George's. We finished all the aerials today. Everything looks amazing. Can't wait to get it online. Now it's time to go back to San Francisco, where we're gonna hook it all up and get it out there for you to play.